firstly, I'd just quite like to ask how you are, because I feel like you guys are always asking me how I am, and I would actually quite like to know how you are. So tell me one exciting thing you've done this week, and on a scale of 1 to 10, how good is your mood? Because I just want to know. I wanted to do something a little bit different this week. So you guys absolutely love when I do my kind of makeup tutorials. I really hate calling them that because, let's face it, I'm not the best. But I'll give it my best shot. And they do always say that taking part is the part that matters. What do they say? That's not what they say. It's the taking part that matters, right? Maybe? So although I am not a makeup genius, I do love doing these for you, and you guys really like watching them, so I of course want to make more. And I also really like to ramble, as you guys know, so I thought I would do something a little bit different, kind of like a show and tell, if you will. So I have done this makeup look, and I just wanted to kind of run you through the products as I show you how I did it, instead of me kind of rambling as I'm trying to do it, which, let's be honest, sometimes is a little bit of a mess. So the makeup look I'm going to be chatting you through today is this one, which I'm just going to call Pinky. Pinks. There's a lot of pink. I have been loving baby pink at the moment, and I've worn this makeup look a few times, and you've all been desperate to see how I did it. I tried to use a really good mixture of affordable and slightly more higher end products, just so I know that it's kind of a good mixture for everybody. However, if you do see something that you know there's a more affordable dupe for, then let everybody know in the comments, or let me know. I'd like to know too. So I really hope you enjoy it. So let's get started. The first thing that I used on my face was a new foundation that I have recently discovered because it was sent to my PO box, and it is Tarte, and it's the Rainforest of the Sea Water Foundation. This stuff is so good. I really like it. I would say it has a medium to buildable coverage, and it has this really cool kind of dropper, and I just think the packaging is amazing. It's this gorgeous frosted glass bottle. Tarte is a brand that I really recommend. They have so many amazing products, and I feel like their price range isn't actually too bad. The only thing I would say about Tarte is it's slightly more difficult to get hold of if you are here in the UK, but I was super excited to receive this along with the other things in the Rainforest of the Sea collection, and so far I'm really loving this foundation. I feel like it goes on really nicely, it blends really well, and it just lasts really well throughout the day. I'm not normally one to rave about a water-based foundation. They don't necessarily work for me, but this one I'm getting on with really well, and I think I've worn this every day for like the past 10 days. So yes, really loving that at the moment, and the packaging is just beautiful. For my blemishes, the concealer I used was my ever so favourite, the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer. This stuff is slightly more on the pricey side, but I find that the coverage it gives and the way it kind of sinks into your skin without it looking like you're caking over a blemish, I find it just works really well. It gives a really nice kind of airbrushed look, almost like, you know, in Photoshop when you can just like go over something with a colour. I think it's called the clone tool, but don't quote me on that. I haven't used Photoshop in a really long time. It's kind of like you're doing that. You're taking one part of your skin that's good and like placing it over, and it just works really well. The only thing I will say about these is make sure you colour match. Don't kind of guess online, because the colours vary so much, and quite a lot of them are quite orangey in tone, so just make sure you check that before you buy one and put it on your face. Under my eyes, I used my favourite concealer of all time, ever. Literally think I've purchased about 20 in my lifetime. The Collection Lasting Perfection Concealer. This stuff is the perfect shade for under my eyes. I generally just dab it in kind of like a triangular shape because I was not blessed with the bright under eye area. Thanks fam. So I put a little bit of that on, and just using my sponge, which is what I used for my foundation and my other concealer, I then blend that in, and I just find it gives great coverage. It's so affordable and it lasts all day pretty much. I am one of these people who knows you need to powder in order for your makeup to last well and look the best it can be for the most amount of time. However, I don't like my skin to look really matte. I feel like it makes it look a bit muddy, and I find that products don't blend as well. I find powder the hardest thing to get right. I've tried so many powders, and there are ones that I absolutely love, most of which are actually loose powders, but I just find that there's such a fine line between a good amount of powder and all of a sudden too much powder. I have recently been using the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powder in Luminous Light. I believe this is a powder to use on your face. Imagine if this was just a highlighter that I've just been like brushing all over. I'm pretty sure this is a powder that you can use, but it gives my face much more of a luminous finish, and I've really noticed the difference in photos and videos especially, that it just makes my complexion appear brighter but also powders, so it also kind of combats the whole kind of oiliness and makeup movement. If any of you are looking for something that does a similar thing, if you feel that your face kind of goes a bit flat once you put powder on, try this. Honestly, I love it. I don't know why it's taken me so long to try that. The next thing I used was this L'Oreal Glam Bronze Contour Kit. So you've got the contour on one side and then you've got the highlighter on the other. One of my favourite bronzers of all time is actually a L'Oreal bronzer, which is very similar packaging to this, but it's just the whole thing. So when I saw this in Boots the other day, I was like, oh, I'm gonna try this out. I haven't actually used it before today. Today was the first time I'd used it, but I really like it. It's a really nice colour. It is kind of orangey in tone, so if you avoid that at all costs, this might not be the colour for you, but I don't mind it because I feel like it kind of adds a bit more warmth to my face. It blended really nicely. Hopefully it lasts all day, but on first impressions, I was really impressed. The only thing I will say is I didn't use this, the highlighter, and I feel like it's very narrow. Unless you have the world's skinniest brush, I feel like it's gonna be impossible to get that separately to this. If you want to do it in one big swipe, which I'm not sure I'm brave enough for, it might work really well, but if you're trying to go contour and highlight separate, I feel like this could make life a little bit tricky for you. For blusher, I used this, which is the Revlon Racy Rose Blush. It's a really gorgeous pink shade, kind of like a deep pink actually, which I wasn't so sure would go. I feel like you can overdo the pink. So I only put a little bit of this on, but it blended really nicely. It looks really pretty. It's quite subtle. It's not hugely pigmented, but for the price and the actual product, I think it's really good and worth looking into. It's also not got too much of a shimmer, so if you're after something that literally just puts colour on your cheeks, I think this would be perfect. For highlight, I used my Tarte Skin Twinkle Lightning Palette, which actually came out in the same collection as the foundation, which is Rainforests of the Sea. The packaging is so beautiful, and I mean, just look at that. 3 amazing highlighters. You have this one, which is a bit more skin champagne-y. This one, which has a slight more kind of peachy undertone, and then you have this one, which is a little bit more shimmery and a little bit more pink. I am loving this at the moment. I would highly recommend it. It is beautiful. I've actually been reaching for this over my Hourglass Ambient Lightning Palette, which is saying something. I also really like that it's called Skin Twinkle. Oh, what's that on your cheekbone? Oh, just a bit of skin twinkle. I feel like all highlighters should just be called skin twinklers. Before doing my eyeshadow, I of course applied an eyeshadow primer. This is the Urban Decay Anti-Aging Eyeshadow Primer Potion. Love this. This has lasted me so long. To be honest, I probably should buy a new one because I'm not too sure how long these things last before they don't work to the best of their abilities. Basically kind of foolproof. Put a little bit on your finger, rub it into your eye, and I just find my eyeshadow lasts well, blends well, and looks better. Next thing I did was my eyebrows. Now I know I am in need of a threading session. Not myself, I let someone else do it. So I did have a few little stray hairs, and I also find it slightly more difficult to fill my brows in after I've had my brows, a couple of weeks after I've had my brows done, because I get them tinted. Tip, always get your brows tinted. Holy crap, it makes life so much easier. If you've never done it before, try it. I went to Space NK recently and had a little splurge, and I was looking in the Kevin Aucoin section because I have a few of their products and I really like them, especially their duo eyeshadows. Holy, they're amazing. Sorry for swearing. And I picked up this, which is the Precision Brow Pencil, because as you guys know, I really love my brow pencils, especially when they say precision, because it means they're teeny tiny and you can kind of replicate hairs in your eyebrows and they look more natural basically. You twist it and you've got the little pencil nib, And then on the other end, which is what basically sold it to me, is a little lid and a little eyebrow brush. I don't own an eyebrow brush right now. I don't quite know what's happened there. So I was like, okay, great. This is basically an all-in-one. You can brush through your brows, either if you've put too much pencil or just to kind of get the shape right, and then use the pencil. Recently, I've been kind of venturing out of my taupes, beiges, golds, and I've been going for more kind of pinky berry tones. I don't really know why I've not done this more. I don't know. I just thought maybe they don't go with my eye colour. But then I thought, screw it, I'm just gonna wear it and see what it looks like. And I really liked it. I used the Easy on the Eye 17 palette for the main colour, and it was this one, which doesn't have a name. Oh yes, it does. I apologise. The colour I used all over the lid was number 7, which is Toasted Almond. Do you know what? This colour is really hard to describe. It's like a dusky pink mixed with a bit of taupe, and I really like it, so I popped that all over the lid. These eyeshadows are actually really good, and this is a really affordable palette, so if any of you are after something which has kind of a really good selection of colours and an eye primer, then check that out. For the rest of the colours, I used the eyeshadows in this, which is the Too Faced Chocolate Bonbons palette. Can I just say, Too Faced make the cutest packaging I've ever seen. I literally love everything Too Faced bring out because they just make it look so cute, and it's freaking scented. Not that anyone's gonna sniff your eyelids and go, oh, is that chocolate scented eyeshadow? But you know, it's just a nice little like treat when you're doing your eyeshadow. Award for cutest packaging for sure goes to Too Faced. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, but I really like it. In the corner of my eye, I used this gorgeous shade called Sprinkles, which is basically a shimmery baby pink, which normally I would be terrified to use, but I think it works really well with this eye look. Then in the crease of my eyes, I used the one underneath, which is a brown with a hint of berry tone matte colour called Bordeaux, and I just feel like that gives the eye a little bit more definition, and I also ran that underneath my bottom lash line. I then used Satin Sheets, which is this gorgeous pinky highlight shade, just under my brow bone and in the very corners of my eyes, just to brighten everything up a little bit. Highly recommend this palette and all Too Faced eyeshadows, to be honest. They are beautiful. I didn't really want to make this too heavy and do a liquid liner cat eye, so just to give my top eyelid, so to give my top lash line a little bit more definition, I just used the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On pencil. This is actually a duo pencil, which is perfect for travel because you've got black on one side and you've got a really nice matte brown on the other. And I used a brown just because I find it looks a little bit softer and it blends out a little easier and it doesn't look so harsh, and that is called Whiskey. For my mascara, I used this, which is the L'Oreal False Lash Sculpt. So I was sent this not too long ago and I used it. It has this funny little like crocodile nib. I think I might have put it in a favourites, but I can't remember. I love this. It's quite similar to the Maybelline one that I'm obsessed with, but I feel like this is just super quick. I'm not sure. Like with a lot of other mascaras where you find yourself layering, you don't do that with this. It's like one coat and you're pretty much good to go. It says for extreme sculpting effect fibers. It's very thickening and volumizing. It doesn't necessarily add a lot of length, but I find that because quite a lot of product goes on the eyelashes at once, it does lift them. And I literally just put like one coat of this on, maybe a second just to, you know, separate the lashes a little bit. But I will say, if you don't like sort of clumping mascaras, I know most people don't like clumpy mascara, but you know what I mean, like a lot of people like that. I like that because it's thickening and it's quick and I don't have the time to have like 7 layers of a mascara. If you like that, you will love this. If you hate that, don't go near this because it is quite a clumpy, thickening mascara. However, I love it. Onto my lips. So I lined my lips with this, which is the Colourpop Lippy Pencil. Again, slightly difficult to get hold of Colourpop in the UK, but if you can, the products are so worth it. I love all their lip products. I am obsessed with them. And this basically is just a really lovely creamy lip liner. I find their lip liners are the best lip liners ever. They have the biggest variety of colours you've ever seen in your life, and they just work really, really well. Lipstick. This is the lipstick that I wore a couple of videos back, and all of you were like, what is your lipstick? But this is it. It's a Smashbox lipstick, and it is in the shade Panorama Pink, and it's just this beautiful, I would say it's like a cross between a Barbie pink and a baby pink. It's somewhere in the middle, which is why I think I really like it, because I don't own any other colours like this. In fact, my lipstick drawer is really lacking on the pink shades, so I know what I'm going to be doing whenever I go shopping now is looking at the pink lipsticks. I really like these Smashbox lipsticks. Normally, you guys know I'm much more of a matte lipsticks kind of girl, but this has a really gorgeous moisturising sheen, and they feel so luxurious on the lips. They last really well, obviously not as long as it would if it was a matte lipstick. It gives a really gorgeous healthy look to your lips, but still has the pigmentation, which I find is a really hard balance to get, because normally a matte lipstick will have the best pigment you've ever seen, and then you'll find that a moisturising lipstick doesn't quite have that same colour payoff, but these really do, and I love that lipstick. And then just as an option on top, if you want to or you don't have to, I decided to just put this on just to show you, but I wanted to kind of bring the tone of pink down slightly, so I popped on a little bit of lip gloss. This is a L'Oreal Cream Lip Gloss in 101 Girl on Top, and it's just a really gorgeous kind of milky baby pink, and you can just add that on top for a bit more of a sheen, or just to kind of bring the colour back down slightly. I really like these. I like the applicator. It's really interesting. It kind of glides over your lip. I think they've designed it so that it feels really comfortable to just sit over your lips as you apply it, and they smell amazing. So that is my pinky makeup look. I really hope you guys enjoyed this style of video. As I said before, let me know if you want me to do another one, and if you've seen any other makeup looks that you'd like me to try out and show you. Hope you're having a really lovely day. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye! Boom. Oh, I forgot one.
Head massage before you start.
I might put some Mess Club on then. Or something. Something to get me in the mood.
In the mood to do your makeup?
Yeah.
Fucking crazy hyper makeup tutorial.
Wah!
Did you just search Skepta?
No, Steps.
Alright.
Very different to Skepta.
Makeup tutorial to Skepta.
If you ask me, don't spell me, please don't break my heart. Show me. Nala. Little scallywag. No. So although I am not a makeup whimsical genius, your face needs a bit more kind of light reflect front. So screw it. Wear whatever eye colour shadow you like. Alfie's telling off Stephen and Nala. Also right in the corners of my eyes, just to brighten it. Under my